poised, and for Rise as a whole as we load into the map.
All right, so Rise starting on attack, TSM starting on defense. Only a couple seconds left. For Rise, this is do or die. You don't, this is A, with the last chance qualifiers playing into this actual matchup. There is a lot on the line just past a shot at Berlin. So either of these teams, it's a huge deal. So a very pivotal map.
Look at this aggressive mid play, and they're going to get firm B control, but they're wrapping it over to C, and it's working out until Neptune shut down Bang. Good job there to Neptune, managing to get that stopping kill. The plant is going down here for Rise, and the aggressive play there is not going to work out great for TSM as Rise get the control that they wanted.
Yeah, now they can hold all these positions and immediately fall right back and just play off of the sound, play off of the time, and wait for TSM to be the ones to get aggressive now. It'll be Wardell creeping up from Link. Superman trying to get intel off of this and continuously dancing around the corner. They're on the spike right now, so you're gonna have to hurry. Sabrosa's got it over halfway. Shanks is there, and they get him at the last second. That was down to the wire, but you have to thank Poised and Shanks working together to give Rise round number 1.
Big win for Rise, obviously, and that's gonna be great for their morale as well. Now they know that they've got that slight edge at the start of this map. So yeah, TSM, they got really aggro into mid, and then Rise detected, oh, hey, you know what? We can take that C control with the B, and it, yeah, the wrap just worked out. So now we're going into round number 2. TSM will play it safe here, not a lot expended. And it looks like, once again, some aggro defense play as they stack up heavy on A.
See that fluidity comes out from Rise yet again. You have a lot more at your disposal on a map like Haven because the defenders can't really hunker down on those 2 sites the same way because guess what? There's a 3rd site. So you have to spread your forces out a little bit thinner. It allows the attackers to take full advantage of that. And as is the case with the meta that we've seen on this map, time and time again for many, many months, it's retake central. So expect Rise to get that control, get the spike down, and ultimately the round is going to be won or lost in the utility and the first couple picks that tend to come in and where that snowballs from on the retake.
Cage triggered.
Now, a little bit of probing here from Poise. He's just trying to figure out what he's dealing with instead of Garage. I think that Cage will give away his intentions, though. As Hayes just continued to hold by the window, that fight is going to be pivotal to the outcome on the A side execute.
There's the very first pick coming in from Shanks, his 4th kill thus far. Neptune connects. He's not going to have a showstopper this time. He's not playing Raze, so you don't have to worry about him potentially missing those. Rise get 3 kills that they need, obviously. Just bullying TSM, but there's Wardell on the flank, 2 kills. He gets out of there. Spike goes down. A's trying to fire away. Can't do it. Neptune's going to take the fight right to him, and of course with the Spectre in hand, well, he's an absolute menace. Wardell's got a bit of an upgrade. But Shank says no, thank you. Rise Nation, after that first round, take the second as well. They're up 2-0.
Well played there to Rise. Obviously, they're the expected team to take a round like that as TSM was down bad in the economy. Should be fine now, though, for this round as they can buy up and get themselves nice and comfortable. I think Wardell was just, I'm not 100% sure, but I think he was just hiding in that little nook just outside of short on A. And that's how he managed to get that 2-piece. So I'd have to check the replay for that one, but that's pretty creative play there for TSM. So just having 2 people lined up on the corner. This time, Rise once again setting up for the A execute a little bit faster. You can see that we've got some gravity wells coming up from both of these teams as they try to slow each other down.
It's another A focus now, signing against this B site and just apply as much pressure as they can. Neptune's going to lead the charge. Nice opening pick. Leviathan, you're up next. Down you go. Neptune's got control, and he's going to keep you at bay. Swapping out some weaponry as the spike goes down yet again. Rise so far showing why the attackers have just an absolute blast on Haven. And they managed to cut off some more lines of sight. TSM at this point, what do? You've got artillery in your hands, and the final members of your team are all corralled over towards C. And guess what? They're probably not going to engage with you. Instead, they realize that saving the 2 Phantoms and the Operator is a wiser idea than potentially rushing into their death. Yeah. So this round should be a formality.
Yeah, and I have to agree with the remaining players on TSM. Right now is the moment you need to conserve. Wardell will land those shots. Down goes Shanks, and a good start to this punishment, I guess, in the economy. It's not going to be that significant, but it's something. Now Rise knows what's happening, and they could try to engage. I don't think they will, though. All right, so the hard commit there from Rise, and Parker, you talked about it. This map is all about those retakes. But because TSM lost 2 bodies on A with no trades out, it's a dubious prospect at best to try and retake that.
Yeah, it's quite dubious, Michael. Indubitably, a very tough retake for them.
What is this? Come on,
I believe
it's the appropriate vernacular for that
effect,
context.
I believe.
Here.
The Twitch chat would call it haha cringe, but
well, I'm glad you can lean into that. I'm not very good at it.
that's okay.
That's why I have you.
Thank you. Well, the save might have worked out well for TSM, as they're obviously not chalked to the gills as much as they'd like to be, but they've got the firepower needed. Leviathan has that Ares in hand, so he could do some significant work with that as well. Floating around the map, a nice top-down view for Supermen waiting to drop some of those orbs on down. Rise are stacked up in mid. They have decided to forego the B site so far through these 3 rounds. It looks like their intention might be to try to take control of it. They realize that the grasp that TSM has is quite tenuous. Have they spotted the one player from TSM in the back of Hayes, though? That is the real question. It's a fake. They break in, utility goes out, and instead they're going to head towards C. Wardell sees you. That's one, but there's a second, and he goes for both. But it's Superman to fall this time. Bang is the crossfire on his shanks. TSM fighting back, everybody falling down, and Poised will get swept out as it's a flawless round for TSM to get themselves on the board.
What a hold, Parker. Oh, boy. Interesting round there. TSM, firm control of their site. They hold true. No retake necessary when Wardell is not missing. Not to mention this play from Bang on the platform, ready to line him up and knock him down. 2 of those kills through the wall as well. That's just impressive, Parker. And I wanted to make note of this earlier, but I didn't have a chance. TSM, we're talking about how Haven is a typically attacker-sided map. TSM have a very impressive defensive win rate over the last month on this map of 62%. And that round just now might be why they're so much better on the defense.
Shanks will go right in. Down goes Sabrosa. Up he goes. Down drops Leviathan. More control for Rise as they sweep through this A site up into heaven. The knife still available for him, looking for more picks. They need to satisfy the bloodlust of Shanks as the spike goes down, and Rise, just like that, with those 2 very early picks, will stop TSM in their tracks. A 3rd kill for Shanks now. He's got 2 more to find if he wants to collect them all. Will he be able to contest with Wardell and Bang? That's the real question. Wardell is miles away, and a confrontation between him and Shanks seems very unlikely, so somebody else from Rise is going to be the one to do that. Wardell takes down Poised. Are there more coming? Will you test this man's endurance? His reflexes? No. Instead, Wardell and Bang are once again situated for the save. But oh my goodness, here he comes. Cue the Jaws music. Shanks wants an ace. He can taste it. 2 to find just to his left. Shanks, you gotta look the other way. But Bang says no thank you. He's down for the count. TSM just chipping away at Rise, but it doesn't matter. They're miles away from the spike, and the round will go to Rise.
Those last kills there for TSM, obviously not going to get them the round win, but they do matter in the long run. More weapons that Rise are going to need to buy for really no particular reason. The worse it gets, and they didn't get anything on hunting those players. TSM held firm, although really the star of that round is Shanks. Wow, what an entry with the knives, just punishing the A site players for TSM. We'll see if you get any kind of reaction here from Wardell. He does have knives as well, but he's also got an operator in his hands, and he's ready to hold that A-long push.
Try not to read too much into what is an attacker-favored map at the moment, and I don't want to throw shade their way, but you best know that in my back pocket I have a Van Sillienbach. Have no idea what they're talking about card, and I'm ready to use it. I swear I will. Wardell, though, on defense, gets the lead-off pick in round number 6. TSM desperately needs something at this point, as they are at the mercy of Rise, who have been setting the tempo thus far on attack.
That early pick unanswered. That's why you get Wardell in those positions to go for the aggro play, but it's still an A push here for Rise. They commit, and looks like the recon dart's not going to get any information other than at least 1 player by A, and that will keep those players entrenched. Leviathan and Sabrosa need to rebuff this push.
And the push will come in. Damage being done from that shock dart. Sabrosa isolated in hell right now. His position might not be known as Rise continue their assault. The first member of TSM falls. It's Leviathan. Sabrosa sweeps on out. It's Neptune who's over in that position. He catches him. Down he goes. Spike is also planted. Neptune healing himself back up. And then Lava Bath that he has from Phoenix. Derek now watching to see if somebody's going to come around on the flank. The TSM's assault will come from over towards spawn. Derek pivots, crushes it. Hayes, down goes Wardell. Bang will follow, and TSM are just being utterly annihilated by Rise. 5-1's the scoreline through those 6 rounds.
We've seen consistently solid cosmic divides from Supermen. You know, often those cosmic divides could be actually counterproductive, but not so here. Supermen, not so for Rise, and they make great utilization of this very powerful ultimate. As well, look at that gravity hit. That's just gravity well, excuse me. That's tricky. Now, TSM have been making use of their tactical timeouts, and historically, after tactical timeouts, TSM, at least if we're going by the last map, they always pull something out. The first one allowed them to recover their economy in the first half of the last map, and their second one allowed them to win a pistol versus rifle round to lock the match out. So, I mean, no pressure, TSM.
I mean, at this point, you don't lose anything from taking the timeout. You're not in an advantageous position. We talked about the map stats right now, and we can address them again a second time on Haven, with it being the most played map for TSM. You know, true, they did lose this map to Envy just yesterday. And if you recall, they did significantly better on defense against Envy than they did on attack. That is not necessarily a good sign. They went with the same agent composition, and yet they were much more successful on defense. They only mustered 2 attacking rounds. That's it. So if you're TSM and you're playing off of that, and you know that your team's strength here on Haven is on defense, this is a miserable result for you thus far, because you need to run up the score on this side knowing that your attacking lineup not particularly strong. And as I say that, the entry point from Rise nets an opening pick. Wardell is blinded. He's dispatched over by A-Long, and now Rise will continue to move towards A. But a bit of aggression coming out as Leviathan will head through sewers and could potentially engage against Supermen. But if he loses that duel, TSM would find themselves down 2 bodies, and that's not where they want to be. They've still got plenty of time, though. There's just about a minute left, and Leviathan gets spotted. Neptune, his second kill. And Rise, their sights are now set over on C. Missed from Shanks. Bang 2! A third not in the cards. Derek says no thank you. A third for Neptune pops up, though, and boy, oh boy, this is a close round. Sabrosa will have to do it all. A 1v2. Spike being planted. Sabrosa just tossing out utility. He's going to be blinded. No. Down goes Derek. A 1v1. Spike planted against Supermen. There go the Seekers, and now a flash to follow from Sabrosa. Will Supermen be blinded? Doesn't appear so. We'll have to jiggle around the corner as these 2 men will stand up against each other. Sabrosa, an amazing hero play. He'll be able to grab the spike, and TSM, well, that round looked dicey for them, but they prevail.
And you can see Sabrosa's just eating it up, rightfully so, as that was through and through a Rise round. Stolen from the gunplay on TSM. Bang, what play by main. Perfect hold with the Sheriff. And that was followed up swiftly by his team. You gotta love rounds like that. Impressive stuff from Sabrosa. What a clutch.
Impressive stuff. And I mean, there's been a lot of chatter about this TSM team. And I mean, they tend to be one of the most popular teams in all of Valorant competitive play. There is a lot of ink that gets spilt about this team on various social media platforms and in terms of gaming journalism as well, especially that focused on Valorant esports. This team has just steadily progressed to the point now where they're a rough team, but they're slowly putting it together. And there have been some really nice, brilliant flashes here. They're in tough in this particular map, and so far they look relatively evenly balanced against this Rise team when you consider what happened in map number 1. So for TSM, yeah, those clutch performances are nice. We know they can pull it out, but they're going to need a bit more consistency if they want to match right now the better team in this map, which is Rise, who their focus is quite now on C. Wardell is the one there with Operator in hand to potentially shut them down. The Owl Dart spots him, and he's revealed, so he'll have to fall off. That will concede C. It's going to leave the Phoenix in a position to try and do some damage. And oh my, it's an absolute calamity as ultimates are coming out. Derek trying to stop and advance towards the site. Spike is in hands. On the flank is hazed. He doesn't want to deal with the tripwire. Derek shuts him down. Derek could look for a second now. Sabrosa, the hero from the previous round, in close against the Sova, but it's Sabrosa to win it. Again, this magic carries over from round to round. Spike goes down, so TSM, right now in a 3v4, they know that they've got the odds against them. Once again, another round in Haven. Be characterized by what happens in the post plant. Shanks, though, revealed. Missed a shot on the operator. Sabrosa trying to make noise. Poise stops him in his tracks. Unfortunately for TSM, it looks like the magic from the previous round has ran out, but as I say that, Bang makes me eat my words. The caster curse pops right up. Superman will watch the divide fall, but oh my goodness! Leviathan clutches it out, and he has plenty of time for the spike. TSM, another incredible stuff.
That's 2 in a row, Parker. They will not be stopped, especially on that C site. The retake's just working out flawlessly. I mean, what can you say? TSM are hyped up. After that clutch we just saw from Sabrosa, it just looks like they are in a place mentally where they are connected, synergized, always peaking the same person at the same time. There's no... It is so uncommon where you see the team at the man disadvantage forcing 2v1s in their favor. How does that happen, especially in a post-plant retake?
It's confounding, isn't it? But Bang's going to start that round off very well. Lockdown goes down. So TSM will now try to hold the remaining members from Rise at bay. You want to get side of that range lest they be paralyzed, but for a period of time and then preyed upon by TSM. Shanks falls, Bang down. That's what you look at. And neither any utility. Nice trigger discipline from Sabrosa! He can't drag on to the third, but 2 is good enough. It'll continue to give an advantage to TSM as they find themselves in a 3v2 with a minute left in the round.
The aggression there from Sabrosa. Just what the doctor ordered. But look at this. Rise is turned around. Neptune's trying to take C control, and he's gonna stun his opponent. Leviathan spotted, and Neptune also gets the engagement on Haze coming from Garage. Neptune has firm control of C at this point, but Leviathan peeking wide, and Rise will manage to bring this to a 1v1. Beautiful stuff from Neptune. He doesn't know that Wardell is up, but he's got the operator in hand, so Wardell can't take an aggressive fight. As he jumps around the corner, though, Neptune spots Wardell, and he can't land enough shots! The rifle in hand! And once again, TSM win yet another 1v1. That's 3 in a row.
My goodness. TSM just pulling these rounds out of their hats, and Leviathan and Sabrosa, who have both been huge parts of that. The missed opportunity on Derek is one thing, but then Leviathan swings around the flame wall, takes one down, and Wardell, very swift thinking, transfers over to that Phantom, not wanting to engage at such close range with the operator, a relatively smart idea. Well, this round is going to be do or die for Rise, as they have watched their 5-1 lead go down to a 5-4, still in the driver's seat, but TSM, after that timeout again, this momentum starts to build back, and TSM have some confidence. They're hitting their shots. They're not at the mercy of a bad economy. Wardell, though, he's been involved with so many of these opening picks. He finds a second, Sabrosa third, and TSM have this round already essentially wrapped up. A third for Wardell now, and it's poised in a 1v5, standing and thinking, what are we going to do at this point? Well, Bang says, I'm going to try to find you as best as I can. Trailblazer hunts down poised by B window, where he'll continue to play. Cypher making noise, and Sabrosa now, but they might swing on him at the same time. They know they've got him isolated inside of window. They'll jostle and jostle back and forth. 50 seconds of this, and we're going to have to cast every single second of it. Poised around the doorframe, admiring that masonry work. Beautiful stuff. Ivy, potential greenery in front of him. Cyber cage goes out. He doesn't want to look at the scenery anymore. No, he's going to continue to waste time. Maybe chip away at what TSM has. This is Wardell, but no, it's a 4K for Wardell, and we have a tie game as both teams sit at 5 apiece.
The relentless pressure that TSM is able to apply here through not just that push up on short from Wardell, managed to get 3 kills early in A main, but also the teamwork that you see coming in from the rest of those TSM players at A long. It's Sabrosa able to peek with Wardell, and it's stifling, Parker. And it honestly, they did allow Poise to reset by mid-window there, but he didn't have a lot of choices. Poise could not have run away. He could not have taken a fair engagement. TSM were being very calculated with their choice of fights. And it's been an impressive return here to this map. We find ourselves now at a tied game, and with Ryze's economy absolutely shattered.
Cage triggered.
So, how the mighty have fallen now, and God, it really is the caster's curse, isn't it? Here I was, ready to poke fun at Bach and Van Silly. I take every opportunity I can get, frankly. Wardell, again, by the way, takes every opportunity that he finds, and through those last 3 rounds, Ryze has given him plenty of them. That's the opening pick. And it's on to Neptune. Neptune has been a bright spot so far for Ryze. He and Poised have been the standouts on this team with their impactful frags and utility usage. And Ryze's entrance towards C will be spotted right away. Bang with one, a second for him. It's so routine at this point. Wardell's got the point and the shot onto Derek. Bang falls, but is it blood for the Blood God? Yes, it is. TSM grabbed the lead.
Wow. And it's going to be their first for the map. And there's an important distinction to be drawn there. Parker, you were just talking about it. Ryze have been giving opportunities to TSM, but there's also opportunities being forcefully created by TSM, especially when you see Wardell pushing up aggressively with that operator, whether it be on A long or A short. Whatever he's doing on that aggro play, he typically makes it work for him. Obviously, he's been punished once, but that's making opportunities. That's forcing it on Ryze, and that's part of why we find ourselves in a situation where TSM can, at worst, draw the first half.
Oh, Derek very narrowly misses out on that one. Hayes is going to get aggressive. This is something TSM's done a couple times. It's Wardell sometimes in this position, but Shanks knows it's coming. He'll be perfectly prepared. Economy back up and running, by the way. So for Ryze, they can now begin to answer back with some weaponry of their own. Where are they going to go, though? That's the real question. Spike being escorted through mid, looking to go towards the doors into C. Is that what they're going to do, though? Instead, Neptune and Shanks might provide a distraction over towards A. He's going to run it back, and Neptune is right in the heart of the A site. There's nobody home. Very wisely fallen off. Instead, it's Leviathan playing up top in Heaven, but Neptune doesn't make it quite that far. Shanks down below in Hell. You see those Astra stars in front of him.
Spike is so far, but it's finally made it. You need to get it down, though, before TSM fully rotates.
Hayes is the only one that's been picked off so far, as this is the final round of this very first half. More of those stars are going to go up. Leviathan, a shock dart, works effectively onto Shanks. He didn't have a ton of HP, though, so there wasn't much left to be done. Spike planted, so the retake will come in for TSM, looking to extend their lead. Ryze, they want to tie this first half. A very narrow gap being used and abused by Neptune, but he's not able to capitalize on it at all. So instead, the ults come out, and it's a sweep right through as Ryze Nation look to retake from the retake from TSM. Leviathan will need to be the hero, and he'll walk right into Poised. Down he goes. Leviathan looking for more. He's got 2 to find. Down by Hell. You're playing that angle, but you looked the wrong way. Neptune says, nope. Enjoy your lead for the 1 round. You had it, because we're going to hit the reset button. The first half falls 6-6.
Wow. Impressive stuff from both teams, frankly. Ryze started up that half really well, putting themselves firmly in the lead. TSM, what comeback for the half. It honestly looked like TSM was going to, be absolutely stomped into the dust for that first one. But nope, great recovery. And then to even it out at 6-6, it's a good save from Ryze.
It was a 5-round run from TSM to get those 6 rounds and guarantee that the first half was tied up. There might be future implications for this, though. If TSM is a better team on defense, this could have just been them trying to hold on for as long as possible, because at this point, the ball might be rolling down the hill a little bit too much for them to stop. But speculation is only one part of this actual matchup. There's a game to be played. We've got a quick break, and then we'll be back with the second half here on Haven between TSM and Ryze.
Show me what you got. Back that up, 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 ba Show me what you got.
All right, well, it looked like it was Rise running away with the show. TSM clawed it back, but the turnaround was but short-lived. Only a single round before Rise equalized, and here we are. 6-6 with the second half about to be underway.
Yeah, and obviously when you have a match that is this close, this first round is going to be super important. Now, TSM statistically over the last month or so have been better on attack, but only just with the 67% attack win percentage on Haven versus the 62 they get on defense. So this is not necessarily a decided advantage for TSM now that they switched to half. However, Rise's defensive win percentage is not great, 53%, though they have a much smaller pool to draw from. So we'll see. Early on, you can hear it from Shanks. He's gonna get the turret. So Hayes is a little bit of utility, but oh wow, so worth it to put Shanks on 7 HP.
Unbelievable shots there as well. Not exactly the start that I'm sure Rise wants. These pistol rounds obviously so influential with the tie game and the half essentially being reset. Each avalanche starts as but a single snowflake, and it's one round per snowflake is how I would describe it. Rise holding onto this B site now, as that's where TSM's focus is at, and Leviathan will spray, connects. On to Neptune, down he goes. So TSM have that opening pick. Can they do much with it? They'll try to capitalize. Bang, spike in hand, going for it, but there's not enough coverage. Superman exploits it with 2 big kills. Hazed and Bang can't contend. Wardell gets out of dodge as quickly as he can. That poor coverage by TSM allows Rise to walk right in and take full advantage of it. The negligence could potentially hurt them, and now they'll have to retrieve the spike in the middle of the B site. The Lion's dead, if you want to call it that. Rise have the control that they want. Shanks can't hit his shots, though. That's an unfortunate story for him so far. The blinds come in, trading out from both teams. Wardell, a big kill. Leviathan, one of his own. Superman gets 4 kills. He'll need to find the 5th in Leviathan. Spike in hand. He can't plant. He knows he's past the point of no return. An ace to start the second half for Superman, and Rise take the lead.
It's looking a lot like the first half already here, Parker. What play from Superman? The initial spray transfer that you see him do right here. This stuff, that is just impressive. He barely made that work. If it hadn't been a headshot, that second kill wouldn't have even come in. And then he manages to kite these engagements perfectly to always be the second one engaging, putting him in the perfect refrag position. So impressive, and great teamwork from the rest of Rise to engage with Superman, allowing for that to happen.
Well, they've now got the big advantage, and they're going to push it right away. Leviathan fed on in as the spray from the Ares of Derek downtown manages to connect. He's got a shock dart there as well, as TSM wanted that C site, but they're not going to take it. Instead, their attention moves elsewhere. Hayes is holding down the fort, the doors. Over on green. Owl Drone will scout them out. It won't get farther than Hayes, though, and doesn't give away the position of the other 3 members of TSM who originally wanted C. They want it again. They can taste it. Eric's still got that artillery, and 50 bullets will mow them all down. He's blind, and he'll spray away. Bangs the first casualty. More lined up for him. They try to outduel him, and you know what? They're managing to come out ahead. Superman 3 kills. That's 8 kills for Superman in this second half. An impressive tally. And Rise now with these first 2 pistol rounds.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit too fixated on Derek at the corner. Obviously, though, it's what you expect. TSM shouldn't have taken that one. At least they do manage to get Derek on the floor, so he'll have to buy again into this round. And TSM have the economy. They are in a position now to actually finally go toe-to-toe with Rise. If you take a look, also, we still have the carryover from Rise, so slight disadvantage, but not a huge deal. If they lose here, they'll be okay, obviously. Now, the spray here from Derek through the wall, not going to connect very much. It does a little damage, but not enough to be that substantial. The early peeking here into B is actually very aggressive for TSM. They're taking a lot of risks.
There's Shanks from above. He finally hits his marks. Down goes Hayes. TSM really struggling right now, and while they're kitted out as well as they could be, Rise, in fact, are the ones that are going to trail them just in terms of these loadouts, and Derek will put every single bullet of that Ares to good use. He's got 11 bullets left. That's about it. And has it worked to slow down TSM? I would say so. Spike is once again in the midst of the site. The Lion's Den through the smoke. It's Neptune to capitalize. Wardell falls. TSM are just running headfirst into every bit of danger. There's no scouting being done for them, and none of it being particularly effective. A 5v3 for Rise, as there's still time left to turn this one around. Neptune gets quite aggressive. Maybe a bit too aggressive. Shanks, though, on the flank, managing to punish TSM, and it's Leviathan in a 1v5. Comes a 1v4. No flawless available for Rise, but surely they'll still walk away with the round, as it's Superman, the man of the hour, to stop it. And Rise, just like that, have taken the first 3 rounds of the second half.
Parker, that's especially crippling because you just saw Rise. They were able to upgrade all of their SMGs into rifles in the span of 1 round without spending a cent. So, yeah, they'll have to buy 1. Shanks, as you can see, will have to buy 1. That's it. Other than that, they've got so much carryover from that thanks to TSM dropping the ball. And, I mean, let's talk about that, too, because why is the spike on the initial entry? Why are they going to the front? Especially considering the utility was just not there. There's no coverage from the Astra. There's no coverage. I mean, the guiding lights, sure, but that's not enough. Rise was ready on that B site, and TSM were not. And it really showed.
Still a timeout available for TSM. We saw how much they were able to turn it around and at least stop the bleeding in that very first map when they took their second timeout. 1 per half, as we like to remind people here. But they might need it, and they might need it in a hurry. Neptune could have walked away with a number of kills, but instead he realized that there's just too many eyes trained on him, and he has to backpedal as quickly as he can. He had an insurance policy not too far off in the back of the A site, but Poised is there with him as well. So 3 players from Rise, all within the same proximity. And you know what? They've guessed correctly because TSM have their focus on that particular area. Neptune and Poised in on the fun. Neptune will wrap around, taking advantage of these blinds. He's looking for a 3rd kill. Classic out, and he manages to outdo a Leviathan. Rise are just steamrolling TSM 4 consecutive rounds in a row, and they are marching their way towards a 3rd map.
Wow, this is getting really tricky for TSM, Parker. And Neptune, a big part of that. His hold there on A was excellent for AUC utility, and his pacing. I mean, obviously his aim, right? But his pacing, his positioning, his awareness of where he can and cannot be. So safe, so cautious, and yet aggressive at the same time. Exactly what the doctor ordered. And TSM have seemingly no answer so far. I think he's probably trying to make up for those showstoppers in the first match.
How do you not go 0-4 with your showstoppers? Well, I would simply play another agent. In this case, Superman has been the real story of this second half, just racking it up. That's his 10th kill thus far, at minimum. I am admittedly hard to keep track when he's just slaughtering everybody in the server at the moment. It gives Rise yet another substantial advantage, and Wardell has not been able to find the presence that he needs on these entries. Unfortunately, ending most of the time on the opposite side of where you want to be.
Yeah. TSM with no answer to that early death either just yet. You could see there's a heavy stack on CB here for Rise, so if TSM try to commit to one of those, there's, yeah, rock and a hard place, really. They're doing that because they can rely on Poise to hold a solo as the Cypher, and if not, they'll retake. It's fine. They've got the man advantage.
See, maybe C is clear, who knows? Some struggles there as the dog can't quite get up the stairs. She's an old girl. She's got bad hips.
And she'll make it work, I guess, technically, but
They got it. The
It's gonna
Trailblazer
be
got
the-
off. They got the intel on the window, and they were able
Yeah.
to scout out where exactly Rise is. So TSM, they think they've got a clear line of sight right on in, but no, not like this. Poised from above, that crow's nest overlooking the site. Down one goes. It will be a retake, though. Damage done from the shock dart. Sabros is there, catches one. Shank's not able to do much from sewers. So TSM trying to lock them out, and the scramble from Rise will come from their spawn. And they've only got limited ways in. A nice flash, though, and this is really Neptune's and just Superman taking advantage. But Sabrosa, he's in the office, and he's just checking everybody out. All of TSM are down for the count as Sabrosa's last to fall. Rise unbeaten so far in this second half. They are 2 rounds away from sending us to Breeze.
Oh, they are really walking away with this one, Parker. Oh boy, it's not quite there yet though. TSM obviously at any point can recover. We saw them do it the last half. We don't know that it's gonna happen. We just know it could. We'll take another tactical timeout. They are 4 for 4 on these tactical timeouts so far. They just continue to take them. And I think that's the right call. Even at this point, it's the point of no return really. You've got to recover this situation. Look at Neptune's play with that Phoenix. Just wow. And I was talking about this on the lead up to that retake for Rise. They have the run it back. They have the Cosmic Divide, and Rise were getting the initial picks on that entry from TSM. So they're punishing TSM for trying to push in. And they've got all this utility to retake should they need it. They didn't even need the Cosmic Divide. All they needed was Neptune on Phoenix with the run it back. The perfect answer for every problem.
Well, TSM right now have the upper hand in terms of their ultimates, Bang and Wardell, but a tick away from having it, and that would be the entire team with their ults on the board. A little bit different now for Rise, but they've expended them sufficiently. Not allowing TSM to capitalize on any of those rounds. You still have the knives and the divide as well, as was talked about. So for Rise, well, full buy.
Okay.
Not entirely a full buy. 2 Bulldogs on the board for TSM. Still can do tons of damage with that. Sorry, what did you say?
I said and half shields. It's tricky for TSM because they've got 4 players right now who can't full buy up on that shield. So it's all over the place, Parker, for the economy.
And yet TSM has prevailed in eco rounds twice before, and most notably to win map number 1. So it's entirely possible that they make something work with this. There's going to be a lockdown coming in from TSM, but they lose Wardell yet again. He's the opening death for the team. Not exactly what you need. Leviathan falls next. Rise looking to push on to map point. And will back away. And there goes the Killjoy. The detainment doesn't work. Nobody caught in it. Spike goes down, though. So Rise will need to retake. They have the numbers advantage, and they're all going to go from the same area. Sabrosa's just a couple seconds off of the beat. Derek is there. Sabrosa falls. Hayes takes one down. That's Derek, but they swing appropriately. Bang will need to collect, but he can't do anything. They might be stuck on the gravity well, but it doesn't really matter because there's still so many of them left. Rise shut the door on a TSM comeback after the spike goes down, and they move to map point.
Parker, that's especially painful for TSM and their fans because it was such a well-calculated round from TSM. Their control was impeccable. Their use of the lockdown, impeccable. Their utility post-plant, same. It's just everything's coming together for TSM, except Rise are so definitively taking these engagements because they're coming at them as a team, almost a blob of Rise players entering out from Defender Spawn Connector to C, and everything just goes their way. Despite losing a body or 2, Rise could not be stopped on that retake. And once again, also, it's the story of those early punishments on the entry. Yes, TSM are getting side control, but it costs so much manpower.
Oh no, Sabros is the first one down. Derek will try to stop them as he uses his ultimate, and Rise still have 2 in their back pocket. There's a neural theft from Poise that can lock down the remaining players' locations, not their physical being from the lockdown of the Killjoy. Leviathan will now expend his to try to do some work. The Hunter's Fury looking for targets, and it seems like he's picked a couple good areas, but no casualties. TSM right now on the ropes. They have yet to win a single round on attack. That is particularly damning, and it follows what we saw yesterday against Envy. They were okay on defense, but they struggled really hard on attack. And that might be some theory behind Rise and why they went to this map. Only 45 seconds will separate us from potentially a third map. If you're a fan of Rise, that's what you're going to be cheering for. The divide goes out. That's Superman to expend that. He's been great with his weaponry. Utility will need to be equally as good. And there you go. He and Neptune's just putting in good work. He's got the pistol out now, the classic, but he's completely blind. Leviathan takes his turn on that one. Poised spraying on through. It's all on the shoulders of Leviathan, one of the youngest members of TSM, and he's got a lot of work to be done that he will have to wait to do. Rise sealed the deal on this